Pat and Kim are young and in love,
Let's get out of here.
but from opposite sides of town.
The two families was like oil and water coming together.
Pat loved Kim, and I think that he would have fought for her no matter what.
The star-crossed lovers defy everyone to build a home together and amass a fortune.
She had the fancy jewelry. She had everything. She had everything.
From the outside, it looked like everything was perfect.
I will take you for everything.
Screw you.
Until lies and betrayal land one of them in the grave.
Things started getting bad, and everybody knew it.
Call him and
Stop! Hey, stop it!
the party!
Stop it!
Love may be blind and marriage bliss, but divorce is murder. Las Cruces, New Mexico is known for its staggering beauty, with the desert on one side of town and mountains on the other.
We're the second largest city in New Mexico, but we are also still a small town.
This small town is home to 18-year-old Pat Guffey.
He was a really good-looking guy. He came from money, and he was kind of a smooth talker. He was a good guy.
This place is crawling with North Valley losers.
He's also from the south side of Las Cruces.
So there was a pretty big rivalry between the north side of town and the south side. You were either North Valley or you were South Valley.
Who is that? She's North Valley, dude. Forget about it.
Kim was a cheerleader at Mayfield and very popular. Always smiling and then just like your classic hot cheerleader.
This is so not a good idea.
Growing up, I don't feel like we ever felt like anybody was any better than anybody else, but there was definitely a divide.
That divide is the reason Pat has never seen or met Kimberly Hansen before.
How's it going? What can I get for you?
How about your phone number?
Let's see how you tip.
When he first saw her, he was just mesmerized, like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. It was kind of, mystical because neither one of us really had many friends or girlfriends from Mayfield High School.
Hey, come on, let's go, dude. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go, bud. Let's go. Get in the truck. Don't worry about it, guys. It's good. Let's go. We're getting out of here. I'll be back. Get in the truck.
Eventually, Pat and Kim end up at the same house party.
We were drinking beers and whatnot, whatever. It was high school, it was harmless high school fun.
I'm gonna get another beer. Yeah, sure you are.
Pat and Kim were gone. Like, where did they go? And so I was looking for Pat, and I kind of grinned to myself thinking, oh, that dog, he's with Kim. They slipped off somewhere. And about that same time, the guy that she was there at the party with was looking for Kim.
You lose something, dude? Huh? You lose a little something? Looking around, eh?
It's like, where is she? Where did she go? She's with Pat. And then, of course, me being there with Pat really kind of escalated things.
Come on, dude. Come on. What?
So we ended up getting into this, I don't want to say a brawl, but there were boys, teenage boys, fist fighting with each other over this.
We're waiting, dude.
You lose something, dude? Huh? You lose a little something? Looking around, guys?
Think that's about us?
I hope so. If it is, that means we're doing something right.
That's when they started seeing each other. And that's when things went from high school relationship and went from there.
They became pretty serious pretty fast.
Let's get out of here.
He thought that she was just the greatest thing that ever happened to him.
The pair defy expectations and make their relationship last beyond high school. While Pat goes to college, Kim is a driven career woman.
She was a hardworking girl, you know? Right out of high school, I believe, she went to work for a company that sold computers, and she was very successful. She did really good. She bought herself a really nice car, and she wore very nice suits.
I look gorgeous.
I think she probably had to be making $100,000 a year back in the late 80s, early 90s, as a single woman.
Where to, Patty Cake?
How about Timbuktu? Hmm?
I think Pat was impressed with her ability to earn that kind of money on her own.
Come on, give me the keys.
Okay.
I have a surprise for you, kid.
Oh, mysterious.
They'd been together at that point for 5 years, and you know, after 5 or 6 years, you usually take the next step.
All right, close your eyes. I'm gonna take you someplace real special.
But at the couple's wedding reception, it becomes even clearer that Kim and Pat are from two different worlds.
I think the two families, the Guffeys and Kim's family, was like oil and water coming together. Pat came from a fairly well-off family. They drilled water wells, agricultural and commercial, geothermal, big wells. And in southern New Mexico, water's a very hot commodity. It's the desert, but they weren't flashy. It was very old money.
She came from, you know, lesser means. She wasn't, her family didn't have a business of their own that was, you know, passed on for generations.
Her dad worked for the electric company, so not broke, but not pulling in millions of dollars either.
Well, it's not quite what I was hoping for, but congratulations, Pat.
Thanks, Pop.
Just make sure they treat you right.
I think Pat's dad was a little apprehensive of her intentions, and I don't think he liked her. I think maybe the Guffeys always felt like Kim was looking for something, that she saw an opportunity with Pat.
Uh-oh.
It'll be fine. They only have to play nice for one night.
Which poison? Beer, wine, or whiskey?
I like water, not poison.
Ah, yes. Bless your heart.
I think Kim's family looked down on Pat because he drank.
Psychotherapist Stacy Kaiser and forensic psychologist Brian Russell see bumps in the road ahead.
Pat and Kim are basically from different worlds in the same community. He's rich and she's not, and that might not make a difference at all. However, at this young of an age, it's challenging to manage the fact that their parents aren't on their side.
It seems like Kim's parents have an issue with thinking that Pat's parents drink too much or something. It doesn't really seem like they've got great grounds to have objection to him and his background, and his parents seem to have maybe some concerns about the fact that this socioeconomic status isn't very equal, and maybe that'll cause a problem for the couple, which I don't think it would. So I don't really understand why the parents on either side have these objections, but the fact that they do doesn't bode well for the relationship, because you want to have the extended family be supportive.
Pat and Kim shrug off their family's differences.
I think Pat loved Kim, and I think that he would have fought for her no matter what.
It's the two of them against the world.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it when I get home.
I'll take care of you when you get home.
But soon, it will be the two of them against each other.
Nobody likes your wife out with another man.
If Pat wasn't giving her the attention she was going to get it someplace else.
Opposites Pat Guffey and Kim Hansen are newly married and are trying to take the next steps together.
That's just that time in life whenever you start thinking about, okay, what's next now? Move, get a job, get married, have kids.
Nothing. Again.
Look, trying is the fun part.
There's no time for fun. We both have to work.
If I can't give you a baby, how about in your house?
How about both?
Okay. Both it is.
While Kim climbs the corporate ladder, Pat joins his father's company.
Their cars got a little nicer. Things got a little fancier, trips got a little bit more frequent, money was flowing a little bit better, things were doing very well.
But then, tragedy strikes. Pad's father is killed suddenly in an on-site work accident.
It crushed Pad pretty severely. But I think there was a lot of pressure on Pad to take over the business. And being an only child, it was expected for him to do that.
It was an important thing that his grandfather had owned it, his father had owned it. Doesn't seem like it would have been a real option to just sell it.
It's nice to see you again.
Sorry about your dad.
Kim agrees to join the firm at his side.
There's someone I'd like to introduce you to.
I don't know that that was really her dream. At first, I think that she submersed herself into it and went full-fledged. But I think eventually it started to wear on her.
Hi, Bruce. Nice to meet you. I've heard so much. Can't wait to get started.
She wanted something way more glamorous and probably way more fashionable than to be a well driller.
Will you, excuse us for a moment? What is this about?
She traded the engagement ring that he gave her for one of her choice and didn't tell him, didn't mention it to him, didn't discuss it with him until after the fact.
Honey, it's just a little upgrade.
A little upgrade? We should have talked about this.
It's my ring. I'm the one who has to wear it.
I know it hurt him. I know it bothered him. Like, what I gave her wasn't enough.
When I see Kim take back the original diamond and trade up for a larger one, I'm surprised and concerned. I'm surprised because Kim is the one in the couple who comes from the more modest background. And so I would expect her to be appreciative and actually to feel that the original diamond was something really great. And then I'm concerned because she seems to be trying to almost erase that more modest background.
Kim decides that she's going to swap out the diamond in her ring. And I view that as a fundamental lack of respect. I think the message she's sending is, what you gave me isn't good enough. I don't really care how you feel. I care about how I feel, and I'm going to feel better with a bigger ring.
This is the first time I see something that suggests to me that she is pretty materialistic. And for somebody like Pad, I think that should be pretty concerning, given that he's the one that's coming into the marriage with the greater resources.
Despite his hurt feelings, Pad eventually gives Kim what she's always wanted, a baby boy they name Cody.
He loved his son. He worshiped his son. He thought he was amazing, but he wasn't a super hands-on dad.
Okay.
I'll do it.
No,
The new baby seems to drive the couple even further apart.
Fine. Guess I'll go to work then.
Having children changes the dynamic in any relationship.
She obviously wore the pants in the relationship, or at least that's the way I felt.
While Kim takes care of their son, Pad's money helps buy the growing family a place in the gated community of Messia.
Man, it was absolutely gorgeous. From the home theater to the computer system to the security system to the swimming pool to the kitchen. And I mean, Kim didn't even cook. It was amazing.
She had everything. I think having the cars and having the money and having the house were probably her way of showing that she had succeeded, that she made it.
Pat? Pat? Where the hell are you?
Hello?
Patrick Guffey, it is our moving day.
And you're not here.
When they built the new house and they moved in, Pat was supposed to be there for the movers, but they went to play golf.
Yeah, I'm coming home soon.
It seems giving his family a beautiful house also gives Pat license to do what he likes.
You're supposed to be here. I have to go pick up Cody in 20 minutes, and I am alone and surrounded by boxes.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it when I get home.
I'll take care of you when you get home.
It is possible that she felt that he was neglecting his family life.
Are you there? Are you there?
If my husband went golfing on our moving date, I would probably be very upset.
I mean, of course, he wanted a beautiful wife and a beautiful home. Of course, I think expectation also was to be happy, and I don't think he was.
And that lack of happiness is just the first stop on the road to marital hell.
Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how it looks.
I know it went nuclear in about 2 seconds.
Pat and Kim Guffey seem to love the perfect life they've made together, but they're struggling to stay in love.
Hey!
Pat's behavior is not helping.
I am gonna make a toast.
Pat kind of had a fascination with strip clubs.
To old friends and new deals. Cheers, boys.
He blames the demands of his job.
The way they did business with these farmers, they would sit around and they'd drink beer all night or drink whiskey all night or whatever it was. But that's how you did business. And there were a lot of deals made like that.
We're gonna have another round.
Why are you even here?
Because I have clients. Oh, you wanna know why? When's the last time we had sex? When's the last time you touched me?
You think acting like this is gonna warm me up?
Warm you up? Please.
On more than one occasion, he told me that sex was non-existent.
With their marriage faltering, Kim explores the idea of starting a new design business.
So, I was thinking something a little more bold for your office.
She started her own house decorating company.
She was very talented, and there's no question about it. She had a really, really good aesthetic.
Jeez, Kim, you have great taste.
And takes on a new client, Georgie.
She did the designs for his house, and it was like a little bit unusual how much time and effort she put into that.
Georgie had a thing for her. You could see it. I mean, he was obvious about it.
I should go.
Only after I show you the upholstery in the study.
I really don't know what was going on between Georgie and Kim, but it was suspicious.
Hey, man. Yeah, I just saw her with Georgie. What do I do?
There was more than one occasion that he wanted to know what he should do, to the point of tears. I mean, like cried. I mean, we cried it out on the phone.
Things come to a head on Kim's 36th birthday.
So Pat's gonna throw her birthday party. He rents the bar for a Friday night.
Hi, you came.
Georgie shows up. I'm not sure how he got in. I know Pat didn't invite him. So he pulls her chair out. On one side, I'm just looking at him like, God, you're such a weasel.
Whiskey, tonic with a lime twist for the lady.
You remembered.
He orders for her. I'm like, hey, boy, you're not on a date. That's Pat's wife.
Absolutely.
Pat's not that happy about that.
amazing. I can't believe you.
Georgie.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey! The hell are you doing here?
Your wife invited me.
Look, you're gonna leave now or I'm gonna kick your ass.
I like to see you try.
So people get in the way. The bouncer goes to throw Pat out. So he gets thrown out of this party he paid for.
He did get kicked out of the bar that night.
This is my freaking party. How did you get home?
None of your business.
Actually, it is. Remember, I'm your husband.
How dare you make a scene at my birthday?
How dare you make a scene around town with Georgie?
I told him specifically, you should appeal to her and say, listen, I love you. You're my wife. I'm asking you to stop. I don't think that anything's going on inappropriately, but people are starting to talk and it's embarrassing me.
I don't want you seeing that weasel ever again, you hear me?
Tone down your drinking and never go to a strip club again. And I mean never.
That's fair.
But you're still sleeping on the couch tonight.
So, like, pretty much every other night in this house.
Kim and Pat's relationship has soured sexually. And that doesn't surprise me because I think it's hard for a woman to feel sexy about a guy whom she doesn't respect. And Pat is behaving in some ways that are not worthy of respect. He's spending a lot of time out drinking with clients. He's going to strip clubs with clients. And at the same time, Kim is behaving in ways that I think are inappropriate with Georgie also, and it seems to me almost like she's using that as kind of a bargaining chip. Like maybe then we can come to an agreement that you'll stop doing that and I'll stop doing this.
At this point, it really looks like their relationship is deteriorating. And yet, when things begin to come to a head and they have a fight about this, and they both decide they're gonna get rid of those outside relationships, I begin to see some hope for them. They're actually coming together as a team, and they're working together to solve their problems.
Pat keeps his promise. For a while.
Pat came home late at night after a night of drinking, and Kim was waiting up, ready to pounce.
Where were you? I said, where were you?
Clients.
Farmers don't drink until 3 in the morning.
Fine. You want to know where I was? I was with somebody else.
With?
I had sex with somebody else.
Pat's decision to have a one-night stand was based on his lack of physicality with his wife. I'm sure she absolutely flipped her lid. I know it went nuclear in about 2 seconds. Knowing what I know of his relationship with Kim, I understand why he did it, but I also know it was a one-time thing.
They knew how to kind of rev each other up. They had a volatile relationship.
One 4th of July, the couple's friends realize the marriage isn't just volatile, it's explosive.
Pat said, oh, well, let's just all come to the house and we'll do a big 4th of July thing. I mean, it was kind of last minute.
He said, I'm gonna make ribs, and he had this big plan. Well, he hadn't talked to Kim.
We're not having a party.
It's too late, it's on.
So cancel
What?
the party.
No.
Call everyone and cancel it.
I said no.
Do it! Call them and cancel
Stop!
the party!
Hey, stop it!
The party!
Stop it! Fine. Have it your way, bitch.
I finally got it out of him. I said, what happened? He's like, she absolutely flipped out and went mental. She had a hanger in her hand and she was smacking him with the hanger on his back. And he had welts all over his back. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? What did you do? And he's like, I didn't do anything. What am I supposed to do? I know this sounds crass and terrible, but it's like he put so much work in with Kim that he wasn't willing to let it go. Through good times and bad times, I think he loved her and he hated her at the same time.
But love and hate can be a lethal mix.
There was a very small puncture wound. Screw you.
It was probably the only way that he could hurt her.
After the fights between Pat and Kim Guffey escalate to the point of violence, the two keep their distance from one another.
They probably had gotten to a point in their relationship where maybe they were at different places.
Kim focuses on a new friendship with a parent from their son Cody's bowling league.
He was divorced. He had at least one child that was Pat and Kim's son's age. They knew each other's kids from the bowling alley, and they started a flirtatious kind of relationship. They got to the point where they started just talking friendly by instant messaging each other, calling each other beautiful and handsome, and talking about their own personal desires.
What you doing there?
Let's get you ready for the game.
I want a divorce.
Fine. But if you leave me, I will take you for everything.
Screw you.
If there was been a divorce, for all intents and purposes, it would have been divided up 50-50. That would have been devastating to his business and a big economic loss.
He was really hung up on the fact that I've worked really hard for a long time, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna give her half of what I've earned. And that's how he felt. He went to 2 or 3 attorneys in Las Cruces and gave them $5,000 retainers and said, you are now my attorney, so that she comes, you cannot represent her.
She had worked for the business. She had been a stay-at-home mom. She probably was entitled to a lot of that money, but I think it was probably the only way that he could hurt her.
Things have really escalated with Pat and Kim. It's reached a point where divorce is being discussed, lawyers are being retained, there's threats about money.
It seems like Kim has kind of used this style consistently, where she's kind of gone from 0 to 60 fast when she's gotten upset about things. Pat seems like in the beginning of their marriage, he was a little bit more of an acquiescer, but now over time, he seems to have sort of almost adopted her style, and that makes me think that he's built up a bunch of pent-up rage.
As far as I'm concerned, There is no hope left. This relationship is going to end. The question is, who's going to end it and how?
While Pad worries about the possibility of losing half his fortune, rumors are starting to fly around Mesilla about somebody else in his wife's life.
I had heard it was some personal trainer. That's it.
A neighbor had said that it was kind of funny. Every day, Pad's truck would leave the house and somebody else's car would show up. I heard that the car that was coming and going in the mornings and in the afternoons was the personal trainer. Again, Las Cruces being a small town, people talk and people noticed, and I think people saw things.
Is it idle gossip or damning truth? During a weekend visit from Pad's mom, tension is at an all-time high.
Something wrong? Everything's fine, except for the fact that your son is out golfing.
Kim was upset at Pad because he didn't stay home and entertain his mom.
It really was just an excuse to be in a fight.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Ambulance.
Oh my...
Call an ambulance.
What happened?
I fell on a bridge.
You have reached 911 emergency. I have an emergency.
My husband fell. He's bleeding from the chest.
What do you mean? I don't know. He had something and he fell.
It went into his chest. Please hurry.
Kim.
Baby.
Water. Kim. Kim.
What city are you in?
Yes, we're in Mesilla. Please hurry.
I need an ambulance fast. Give me 1 second, okay? I've got to page up the units, okay? Don't hang up.
Please hurry.
First responders and police from the Mesilla Marshal's office arrive on scene.
Tell him what happened.
I think I fell on a branch. I fell on a branch.
He was awake and at least trying to communicate. He was really thirsty. He was really upset. He did say that he fell.
I don't believe they thought it was serious due to the fact that the puncture wound was so small and they were treating it as an accidental injury.
It just so happens the puncture hit a crucial point.
It went through 2 of his ribs and then just went right into the heart. So he was declared dead fairly quickly after getting up to the hospital.
I get a telephone call from my mom, who still lives in Las Cruces, and says, you know, Pad's dead. And I'm like, what? I couldn't even process it. And at the time, I'm thinking, impaled? What does that mean? He's been impaled. You know, it was just this tragic accident. We don't know what happened. Like, was he landscaping? Was he on, like, a cherry picker? Like, was he on the rig? Like, how do you fall on a tree branch?
The death is recorded as accidental, but out of standard procedure, detectives from the larger urban police force are called in.
So, take me through your morning. Did you see Pat?
I was asleep when he went to work. I got up a bit later, dropped my son off at school, and then came home to work out. We exchanged a few texts, but nothing special. I mean, I didn't even know he was home. And I came into the kitchen to make a smoothie,
She says that he surprised her when he walked in and that he already had this injury.
Kim!
Oh my God!
Ambulance.
Oh my God! What happened? And I could see blood coming out of his shirt, but it didn't look that bad.
She just didn't realize that he was hurt that bad. He tends to overreact, she tells them. And then, of course, he dies. And she's very cooperative.
I cleaned up a bit.
She cleaned up the blood because the son would be coming home, and she didn't want him to see that. He was going to have to be told that his dad had died, and so they didn't want him to have more trauma.
Do you mind if I just look around a bit?
Be my guest.
The investigators weren't able to locate a branch or any type of equipment that he was using for yard work. It does raise suspicion as to what truly happened or where that object is at.
Could he have been stabbed with something else?
Like what?
There was a letter opener there just the other night.
It's starting to look less and less like an accident.
Even with the things that I knew about their relationship, I still was absolutely dumbfounded.
Pat Guffey is dead in an apparent fluke accident when he falls on a branch and it goes through his heart. But investigators start to doubt the story told by Pat's wife, Kim, after one of his employees says they saw him around 10 a.m. on the day of his death.
One of the employees stated Mr. Guffey appeared to be angry.
And then he actually went and got in his car, sat there for a little while, continued a conversation on the phone, being animated with his hands, and then just disappeared. That worker thought that he had gone to another work site.
But instead, he went home. Kim is interviewed another time and is asked again about her communication with Pat that morning.
So you were just texting Pat that morning?
Actually, I think we talked on the phone. It was kind of a long call. It might have been about 20 minutes, maybe.
She realizes that they were going to get the phone logs, and so she has to now clarify that lie, and so she does admit that they were on the phone. So there's back and forth conversations.
He was angry with me. He'd heard some gossip, and he was upset. Hello?
Are you alone?
What?
You heard me. Is there someone there with you right now?
Of course not.
You're lying.
If you're lying right now, I swear I'm gonna hurt myself.
He hung up on me. Maybe he tried to hurt himself to prove a point.
Nothing is adding up. So authorities interview the emergency dispatch operator to ask for her impressions of the 911 call.
Yes, hello? What's going on? I have an emergency, please. My husband got hurt and he's bleeding in the chest.
The 911 operator informed us that we should listen to the whole 911 tape.
Every time anyone calls 911, it automatically starts recording while the phone is ringing.
At that point, I think I had 17 or 18 years of being a prosecutor here in Doña Ana County, and I never knew that they tape recorded when it was ringing.
Please don't send me to the cops. Thank Mel, please. Will you promise me? Will you promise? Please stop. Lay down and calm down. In the car, please don't send me to the cops. Okay. I am. Thank Mel, please. Will you promise me? Will you promise? Please stop. Lay down and calm down. Lay down on your back, baby. Lay down. I know it. I know it. I know it. I'm going in. Oh, You have reached 911 emergency. I have an emergency. The gal court. Please hurry. A high volume. My husband is hurt. He's bleeding. I don't want you to die, baby. Calm down. Lay down and relax. What can I do? 911 operator will be on the line as soon as possible. I know. El operador tomará su llamada lo más pronto posible.
You're listening to it, you hear that slip up at the very beginning where she says, I just stabbed my husband. And of course, it's in the car. Please don't tell anyone. She's talking about the weapon that she used to stab him, that she had put it in the car and that it was not in the house, so nobody was going to see it. Please tell him it was an accident.
With that call, investigators have a good idea of what may have happened that tragic morning. Kim and Pad start fighting after Pad becomes suspicious his wife isn't home alone.
Hello?
So, are you alone?
What?
You heard me! Is there someone there with you?
Something made him get in the car and go there on the spot. I really don't know if there was someone else there or not, but it could have been the personal trainer.
Kim, don't me. Is there someone there with you?
Actually, he just left.
She was telling him about a relationship she was having, an emotional type affair, if you will. And I think that he went home to confront that and see if it was true.
I'm done. You're not getting a thing.
Oh, really?
There isn't a lawyer in town that can save you.
You were the one that cheated, remember? Lawyers are gonna have a field day with that one. Wait, where are you?
Closer than you think.
Good. Because I'm gonna take you for everything.
Like hell you are. You have no right to take anything from me. What did you do? What did you do?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Call for help. Get an ambulance! Where are you going?
We do believe, based on the nature of the crime, the size difference, that she had to attack him fairly quickly and very unexpectedly, because otherwise Pad would have been able to fight her off. So it was an ambush. She stabs him, pulls it out, then takes time to go out to the car, moves the weapon and puts it out there, and then calls 911.
Where did you... Where did you put it?
In the car, please don't send it to the car.
Promise me.
Lay down on your back, baby. Lay down.
I'm going to...
If you listen to what he's saying when he's yelling at her, please call for help, please get me help, I'm thirsty. Like, I think he thought she wasn't really calling for help. I think he did not believe that she was even on the phone. How long he laid there and watched her run around and do all these things to cover up that she just stabbed him must have been even more terrifying than being stabbed.
I fell on the branch.
Even in his dying moments, Pad lied to protect Kim.
If she would have left the weapon in there, if she would have called immediately, and if she would have gotten help instead of trying to protect herself and trying to hide up the crime, I think he would have had probably a 90% chance of surviving.
Kim Guffey is arrested and eventually pleads guilty to involuntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence.
They kept calling it non-violent involuntary manslaughter, and I'm like, how is getting stabbed in the chest non-violent?
If a man was to just say, oh, I just lost my temper and I just grabbed a hanger and hit the woman with it, we would never accept that. Because to me, it sent the message to our community that if you are a female and you can play the role of a victim with that, you can get away with being punished with less than a year in prison for taking somebody's life.
If you stab someone in the torso one time with a letter opener, you actually have a higher chance of not killing them than of killing them. So, do I think that Kim knew exactly where to stab and intended to stab exactly in that place on Pad to kill him? No, I really don't. That said, I think she intended to stab him, and that created a gross risk of lethality.
It appears to me that She may have not intended initially for him to die. However, she did take time to, do a little handiwork and move things around and not call 911 immediately. And that makes me think that she was thinking to herself that she may have a way out. She may not have to divorce him. She may be able to keep everything, and he might just die. There's a lot of possible theories for why Pad might have said that he stabbed himself. I think he wanted to divorce her, and maybe in his mind he thought he would live and he would end the marriage and she would never be able to do something like this to him again.
If there's one thing that I've learned through this whole thing, is that honestly, anybody's capable of doing something like this. Even with the things that I knew about her relationship, I still was absolutely dumbfounded. There were warning signs and nobody addressed them. Nobody did anything. You don't know what to do. The way that everything went down, it's really tragic. And honestly, from the perspective of Pad, he deserves a voice.
There's a lot that I would have liked to have shared with him and told him that's happened to me and my family and his family in the last 8 years that I wish he were here for. He didn't deserve what he got. I have a hard time, I can't take his name. I can't take his name out of my phone because then I feel like he's gone.